Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste. We are back again with another episode of Gold Roti, and this is Emin.
Hi, and I'm Ams, and today we're diving into a topic that hits home for so many South Asians: cousin marriages. Yes, that thing your older generations insist is perfectly normal and natural.
So exactly, that's what we are talking about. That's the elephant in the room: cousin marriages between relatives, especially the first cousins. और ये बहुत common है Pakistan, India, and any South Asian country, Bangladesh, Nepal. While it may sound cute in the family WhatsApp group, it has serious health implications, and that's what we are going to talk about today. With a little bit humor, of course. It's We are not ridiculing the topic. Try to understand this is a bit humor so that we obviously will be crying if we discuss the health implications.
And also, we're not suggesting or advocating for not getting into a cousin marriages. We are not for or against. We're just talking about implications of
Yeah.
getting into a cousin marriages.
So okay, okay, Amreen. So let's start with the obvious question: why are marriages so common in South Asia?
Well, first of all, South Asian families are huge. They're very tight knit. Everybody knows everybody, and there's this belief that if the girl stays in the family or if the boy stays in this family, it's considered safe.
And
Uh,
again, I
yeah,
think the religion plays a role too, because Islam may allowed hai cousin marriages, and it's very acceptable socially and culturally. Again, we are not saying don't do it because Islam may agar allowed hai, you can definitely do it, but we are trying to warn you about the health implications and how to avoid that.
yeah. And then there's one other thing. I think also property, family. They want to keep wealth in the family. And we don't blame them. A lot of people think like that. Simple. It's just simple economics, like right, like don't trust strangers. So we'll just keep the girl, keep the boy in the family.
And historically, it also strengthened the alliances within the families. सब
Yeah,
ये रहेंगे, it's like हमारा tradition intact रहेगा और बाहर से किसी को लाओ तो आप जानते नहीं हैं इतना. It's this familiarity too. And now with this urbanization and modern careers, now people are questioning.
all right, so let's go to segment two, which is how common it is. And we're going to talk numbers. So, like, in Pakistan, the data that we have is around 40 to 50% of marriages are still happening between cousins.
And in South Asia, it's also common. It's mostly the rural trend though. As we said, urbanization has changed this trend. लेकिन rural areas में अभी भी ये हो रहा है, and cities are slowly moving away from it.
Yeah, and interestingly, when Eamon and I were doing our research, it was we came across this fact that I didn't know that cousin marriages are more common in the paternal side of the family as compared to the maternal side.
Yes, though the genetic side does have some implications, and we'll get into it in a minute. So yeah, and next we are going to talk about the health impacts which Ambreen can carry on.
Yeah, so all right, so let's get real. This is where the medical side comes in. Cousin marriages increase the risk of multiple inherited conditions, right? We all know somebody who's been affected by it.
So yeah, first cousins share about 12.5% of the genes. So if both of them are carrying, तो क्या होता है कि आपके कुछ जीन्स होते हैं जो रिसेसिव होते हैं, जो दबे हुए होते हैं. ठीक है, और अगर आपकी शादी कहीं बाहर फैमिली में होती है तो वो दबे ही रहते हैं हमेशा. लेकिन अगर आप एक ही फैमिली में हैं और आपकी आपस में शादी हो गई है तो आपके वो जो रिसेसिव जीन्स हैं वो एपरेंट हो जाते हैं. तो इज देयर इज अ डबल चांस ऑफ पासिंग इट. और इसके कॉमन इश्यूज में थैलेसीमिया हो सकता है, हार्ट डिफेक्ट्स हो सकते हैं, हियरिंग प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, मेटाबॉलिक कंडीशंस हैं, इंटेलेक्चुअल डिसेबिलिटीज जैसे कि हमने पिछले अपने एपिसोड में डिस्कस किया था जिसमें वन ऑफ देम वाज ऑटिज्म. दैट आल्सो गेट्स लिंक्ड टू कजन मैरिजेस.
Yeah, and when you look at it, when you zoom out, and not just look at the nuclear family or the kids being involved, and if you just look at the entire family, families carry emotional stress because of it. There's a lot of financial burden that comes with it, especially if a kid has some kind of cognitive or intellectual, disability. More hospital visits, mental health becomes an issue. And I feel like, and I personally know parents, and when I used to do house job in civil, I used to see parents being constantly worried about their kids. So, it's not, it has a ripple effect. It's not just one person's problem, is what we are trying to say.
Yes, and financial too. And that is why genetic counseling is so important.
Hmm.
तो आपको शादी करने से कोई मना नहीं कर रहा है, कीजिए, बट देन बिफोर मैरिज या कंसेप्शन आप जो जिन फैमिलीज में हाई रिस्क है, या जो बहुत सारे जनरेशन से कजन मैरिजेस करते आए हैं, प्लीज आप जेनेटिक टेस्टिंग करा लें, और अगर आपको कोई पॉजिटिव आ रहे हैं ज्यादा डिजीजेस, तो वो शादी ना करें अगर आपकी कोई पर्सनल अटैचमेंट नहीं है. इट्स जस्ट प्रैक्टिकल डिसीजन टू मेक.
Is social impacts. So, beyond health, uh, we just talked about health and medical implications, but now we're going to talk about social implications. A lot of cousin marriages reinforce a lot of patriarchal norms, they try to, the conservative families try to keep women in the family to, retain control over lineage and property.
So yeah, and sometimes they limit the personal choice. Young people feel pressured into marrying within the family, even though if not it's not their preference. अगर अम्मी ने जबरदस्ती बोल दिया है कि बस मेरी बहन की बेटी से करनी है, मैंने जबान दे दी है, तो there's not much choice to go against your family, because then you're gonna cut off your family.
Right. And the Zaban was given before you were even born,
Exactly.
or when you were an infant. Like, you don't develop that cognitive, you don't develop your cerebral cortex until you're 25 years of age. So how are you going to make such a big
And
decision?
then you're messing up the cousin friendship bond too. आपको बचपन से पता है कि मेरी इससे मंगनी हुई है. How are you going to enjoy playing with that cousin? It just messes up your growing up with the cousins, which is a lot of fun, जो हमने enjoy किया है, and I'm sure Amreen ने किया होगा अपने cousins के साथ. So we have to be mindful of that. But again, there are positives too. We are not completely dismissing it. There's trust, there's strong family support, there's emotional security. So it's very complex. It's not all black and white. So it's somewhere in the middle.
Right. And things are changing, so especially like, with more public health campaigns, premarital genetic screenings are being promoted in Pakistan now. So I think it's getting better.
So that's what our next segment is about, the changing trends. That things are changing, especially in the cities. जैसे कि हमने कहा रूरल में तो फिर भी लोग अभी फॉलो कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि वो ट्रेडिशंस अपने नहीं छोड़ना चाहते हैं, चाहे उनको भी सही न्यूज़ मिल गई है, but they don't want to let go of their traditions. So cities में there are many educated couples who prefer marrying outside the family, for compatibility, career, health awareness, for a number of things. And social media, oh boy. So suddenly now everyone is talking about the pros and cons openly. पहले ऐसा नहीं होता था, अब हर कोई डिस्कस कर रहा है, तो हम भी ये टॉपिक डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. People are going to watch it on social media. So it's like cousin marriages have their own trending hashtag now.
Yeah. So, just if you are considering a cousin marriage, this is, our Eamon and I's practical advice is get genetic counseling first. आप अपनी फैमिली हिस्ट्री चेक करें, आप देखिए कि कोई सीरियस कंडीशंस अगर एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, एंड आपकी कज़न की फैमिली में भी अगर कोई इस टाइप का कोई सिमिलर कंडीशन है, देन प्लीज़ 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 गो फॉर प्रीमैरिटल काउंसलिंग, एंड दे विल टेल यू कि इफ़ अगर आपका बच्चा होता है तो उसके पास क्या रिस्क होगा इस जेनेटिक डिजीज़ का. एंड दे वेरी गुड विथ इट. A lot of them are simple blood tests. They can easily figure it out. Genetic testing is very widely available. And then also, don't forget about emotional readiness. Marriage shouldn't be just about tradition. It's about compatibility, communication, and love.
So yeah, again, like check your family history carefully, और अगर कोई serious inherited conditions हैं तो think twice. Because मैं आपको अगर example दूँ, मेरी एक करीबी जानने वाले लोगों में, I'm not going to name anyone, but there are like 3 siblings who have cystic fibrosis, and it's just not a joke living with cystic fibrosis. It just cripples your life and your mind. So knowledge is power. Stay informed. Don't shy away from it. It doesn't make a marriage unromantic. If you are talking about genetic problems or getting genetic counseling, it just makes it safer.
Yeah, and we understand that it's a sensitive topic, and perhaps even controversial in Pakistan and in other South Asian countries. But we just want to tell you that it's at the end of the day, it's all about informed choices, health, happiness, your emotional and mental well-being.
So yeah, today we covered like cultural reasons, prevalence, health, social impacts, मॉडर्न ट्रेंड्स और रूरल ट्रेंड्स क्या हैं, और हमारी प्रैक्टिकल एडवाइस क्या है, एंड what you should consider medically and health wise. So exactly as Ambreen said, it's at the end of the day, it's about informed choice. Make decisions that are right for you and your family. So yeah, that's what that is what that matters.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed, today's episode, if you feel like it had information that you were not aware of, please share it with your friends and family. Please like the podcast as well as our page, and we'll and comment. We would love to hear your thoughts. We would love to hear your thoughts as well.
And yeah, thank you for listening to Gold Roti, and stay safe, stay informed, and keep talking. And we will let you know our next topic very soon. We are still discussing amongst a couple of topics. We haven't finalized yet, but we'll be announcing it very, very shortly. Thank you for being here. Bye.
Bye.